So let's just assume that I have figured my rig out. Now, if you look, it's kind of complicated looking. It's really, really simple. And I have a whole bunch of stuff that I've made to go along with my bows. Now, I've got arrows to make, but the bow is done. I've got a sling that supports the bow. It comes quickly and easily to hand and allows me to spin it 360 degrees, top hand, bottom hand, underhand, or overhand, whatever you want to call it, and then allows me to sling the bow back to one shoulder, all with one hand without ever touching it while I reach for my arrows. It supports the weight by being just in the right place and is out of way by being just in the right place. So I'm going to show you what I got going on here. This will be a very short video, guys. So there's this, okay? And you can see this is hooked on here, but it's not hooked onto my shoulder anymore. Instead, it's hooked onto a guitar strap. You'll notice also I have an extra carabiner on it so that I can hang additional items or run this line up through my belt loop, then through the carabiner, then on. It's also in case anything breaks, and it's because carabiners prove to be awesome. For example, right now, while my bow is not in use, for example, you might not think that this would fit, but right now, it actually does. It sits right there and locks into place, which means at this point, it really does lock right into place. The bow's in storage, basically. I can still, if I really choose to, get it out, as you can see, just by popping it out of the rock. But it won't just come out, which makes it kind of ideal. I can take it out with one hand and a quick motion, which is great in case I really needed it in a hurry. But what this does is keeps everything tight. So this can be run, this is just a lighter leash with a clip on it. And all these little details that I found work so good together. One of the things I like the most about it is when I come in, I have my entire setup all in hand. So I've got my quiver. Now, I gave it a spot to live here, and because what I've done is take two pieces of Velcro, one with the teeth and one without, so I can just roll it. They're glued together, and now I can just do one of these. Now that is out of the way. I have another one here that holds my guitar strap on. Then I've got a couple of carabiners, one hooking the two straps together, one additional, just in case this one breaks, I have a backup, or in case I need it for anything else. This one isn't really needed because I have this, I could just wrap it around, but I put one on. It's really handy. We might not think it's needed, but it really is because it locks this side of the quiver. See, the trick is with a quiver, you need it angled the way you want. This allows me to set the angle very precisely. So that is it for this series. It's a very basic device, you know. I mean, it's such a simple thing. But to have a good sling, to have a good hunting rig, like I do now, is actually really handy. So I'm going to take a couple of more things. I made myself a wrist guard. At one point I said I had two of these gloves that were different, and both were right-handed. Well, I turned one into my armored shooting glove, and the other one is for my wrist. So it works well. I have tried it. So I'm going to take the two of those. And luckily, because I have all this stuff, they can't go deeper than I can get them readily, which is really nice. But they can go into this and tuck right in and be set down inside, and the lid can still close, and then I can still get them. That way my shooting gloves are in there, and when I go to load it with arrows, I'm automatically ready to go, kind of thing. So the other part of that is all these things now are locked in so snugly to me wearing any pair of jeans or any belt that I don't have to worry about it, and it's all on one piece. Now, honestly, this is not a cheap setup anymore. That strap I paid real money for, and it was $50. But it's literally the only thing on that whole setup I paid anything for, guys. And look what I got. A sweet longbow, a sweet homemade custom quiver, and it doesn't look that bad, like it looks lame enough where you'd be like, hey, what is that, a red box? But when you see it, if you're an archer, you'll know right away it's a quiver. And so I'm pretty excited. All this put together locks everything in place nice and neat and tight, and all on my left side. There's nothing that actually is hanging on the right side except for the strap. So this helps create the angle to my self as well. It's between the strap and this. And it's one of the reasons I actually included another carabiner so that if I need to, I can run yet another bungee line like that off me on another point to keep it really tight and having it move with my body. Um, Military guys like us, I guess we all like a tactical setup, right? So this is my tack setup for my hunting bow, and this is I'll actually take this through the bush. This is plenty strong. This is real good Velcro, and as you can see, it goes right around. And on the other side, it's the same kind of thing. And this is so light, and given that it's really not the only thing that's holding it on, it's actually anchored now from 2 points rather than 1 point, which is why I like doing this. So this was the other thing I wanted to show you. I built this guy into it and really built it up with glue. This is solid. It's not going anywhere. Put another clip on that so that I have another anchor point here. That gives me attachment to the lighter leash so I can put pressure on this corner exactly. And that really helps a lot. So that's it. Everything else has been covered. Keith out.